हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य स्वाध्यायचर्चापाठः। अद्यतनवर्गे 58तमात् वर्गात् आरभ्य अग्रे स्वाध्यायानाम् अध्ययनं करिष्यामः। प्रारम्भे वन्दनम्। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। 58तमस्य पाठस्य अभ्यासचर्चा। उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ क तथा इन् एतौ प्रत्ययौ। अस्य उत्तराणि सतीश कोठारी महोदयेन बहु सम्यक् रूपेण लिखितानि। I should be unmuting him in a minute and he can take over. नमस्ते सतीश जी। You have to
नमस्ते।
नमस्ते। श्रूयते
आम्
प्रारभताम्।
अस्तु, प्रथमः प्रश्नः अस्ति, रूपाणि कृद्वृत्तिं लिखित्वा ससूत्रं साधयत। प्रथमः शब्दः अस्ति शकृत्कारः। अत्र शकृत् करोति इति शकृत्कारः लौकिकविग्रहः। अत्र गौः विषये उच्यते, न तु गोवत्सस्य विषये। धातु अस्ति डुक्रोयकरणे। अत्र उपपदं भवति शकृत् प्लस ज्ञस् उपपदम् अतिङ् कर्तृकर्मणो कृतिः। अनन्तरम् अण् प्रत्ययः कर्मण्यण् इत्यनेन विधीयते। अनन्तरं शकृत् प्लस कृ प्लस अण् इति अवशिष्यते। अन्ते अचोणिति इति कृ धातोः वृद्धिं कृत्वा कार् इति प्राप्यते। वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा शकृत्कारः इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति। सो शकृत् करोति शकृत्कारः।
तत्र अस्मिन् विषये अत्र एकः बिन्दुः मया वक्तव्यः अस्ति। So what is happening is that I think we also had a discussion about this on the email. What is happening over here is that there are two important things that are happening. There is an upapada mating which creates an upapada samasa. The upapada samasa happens between the upapada which is a subanta. So the samasa happens between the entire entity of shakrut plus ngasa, which is a subanta, and a kridanta, which is a pratipadika. So in general, the samasa happens between the two subantas. This is a unique samasa which happens between a subanta and a pratipadika. So you have kru plus ana, which is a pratipadika. We have shakrut plus ngasa, which is a subanta, and there is an upapada samasa at this particular stage. Only after the upapada samasa happens, supo dhatu pratipadika yoho can get rid of this ngasa. So you cannot get rid of this ngasa before upapadamating. First, an upapada samasa has to happen. Once the upapada samasa happens, the entire entity gets the pratipadika samnya by krut tadhita samasascha. Samasascha is the important part over here. Krut tadhita samasascha. And then once it becomes pratipadika, supo dhatu pratipadika yoho is going to get rid of this ngasa. Now, important point to understand is how does kartru karmanoho kruti plays the role over here. So what is kartru karmano kruti essentially doing is it is breaking the dvitiya ekavachanam. So shakrut is an apumsakalinga word, so dvitiya ekavachanam will be still shakrut. So breaking the dvitiya ekavachanam word into prakruti pratyay vibhaga and magically transferring that dvitiya to shashti. So I have also seen some other homeworks where people have attempted to break it as shakrut plus ama, bring a dvitiya pratyaya and then convert it to shashti pratyaya. So that's not how it happens. You either write it as a full-fledged word. Let's take a simple example, balam, for example, because here that pratyaya is not visible or is not evident. So balam iti shabdam svikurmashret, you can either write balam as a full entity or you can break it into bala plus nasa with kartru karmano krutihi. Kartu karmanoho kruti. There is no middle structure like bala plus ama in this particular prakriya, and this has been explained in details earlier in the classes on the upapada samasa. Now what you have to do is you can either do the upapada samasa first and show alaukika vigraha, calling it alaukika vigraha of samasa, which is also okay, or you can break the shakrut plus gasa all the way in the beginning, calling it alaukika vigraha of the krudanta. That is also okay. So you can also say shakrut plus gasa in the right first step and then call upapada samasa, or you can say there is an upapada samasa with shakrut, which is an pratyayanta word, and then you can break it. Either way is possible. In exam, if I ask you to write alaukika vigraha of a kridanta, you should be breaking it completely. So when an explicit alaukika vigraha of a krudanta is asked, the upapada also has to be broken down, and only when it is dvitiya and it has to be converted to shashti, this kartrukarmanoho kruti will come in the picture. Otherwise, it's just a separation of prakriti and pratyaya, and there is no kartrukarmanoho kruti in the picture. So yatra yatra alaukika vigraha parikshayam pritchate, tatra tatra upapadasyapi vigraha karaniyah, tatra pratyayah tatha dhatu. So you will have four components. You will have an upapada, the pratipadik for the upapada. You will have the sup pratyay for the upapada. You will have the dhatu, and you will have the corresponding krit pratyaya being attached to the dhatu. So that whole construct is called alaukika vigraha of a kridanta. And if you don't have to, I mean, if alaukika vigraha is not asked, you can do it anywhere. You can do it after upapadamating or before upapadamating. These are like independent operations. So I just wanted to highlight the difference between upapada mating and kartrukarmanoho kruti, and wanted to make it clear that these two have different purposes. Kartrukarmanoho kruti is about breaking down a word into prakriti pratyay vibhaga and bringing a shashti, whereas upapada mating is about creating an upapada samasa. Agre gacchami.
संज्ञा अस्ति हरि ओम्
वदतु वदतु श्रूयते.
whether these two upapadamating and kartu karmano kuti, can we show them in one step like what I have shown?
Yes, this should be okay. I mean, here, for example, all that you are required to do is the prakriya, right? So you can do these in a single step. It's okay. I mean, when an explicit alaukika vigraha is being asked, you should write it separately. Otherwise, it's okay to combine the consecutive or easy steps together to reduce the length of the prakriya. I mean, especially in an exercise where you have to write 20 prakriyas one after the other, it's definitely acceptable.
Okay, astu.
One second. One second. So there is a question that I would like to take. In the alaukika vigraha, should we write am pratyaya is the question. The answer is no. Am pratyaya does not exist over here. That's what I have been saying again and again. It is either the full word balam or it is bala plus ngasa. There is no intermediate state called bala plus ama. If you write balam, then bala plus and then bala plus ngasa, it is completely wrong. There is no sutra that converts the pratyaya to ngasa pratyaya. Kartrukarmanoho kruti sutra says that in presence of a krut pratyayanta word, the karta and the karma get a shashti pratyaya or become shashthyanta, which essentially means that you have to, while breaking it down, suddenly a ngas pratyaya, the shashti ekvachan pratyaya appears over there. So the correct way to write, I'm explicitly taking example of balam because an pratyaya is evident over there. So the explicit ways to write is either to write balam or to write bala plus ngasa. I mean, assuming it's going to become shashti. I mean, I'm assuming in this whole case that is going to become shashti by kartrukarmanoho kruti. There are certain cases like naloka, vya, khalartunam, and so on, where the shashti is nishidhyate. So in that case, we'll just write bala plus ama, but that's an altogether different discussion. So the bottom line is, if asked an alaukika vigraha in the exam, the dvitiya, if it has to be broken down into shashti, then you should never write an pratyaya. You should always write bala plus ngasa. There is another question that I would like to take. Why do we have to show the pratipadika and the sup pratyaya for the upapada? So you don't have to. So that is a correct question. Is this particular breakup required for Upapadamating? No, it is not required for the Upapadamating. You can just say Shakrut plus Kru plus Ana and bring an Upapadamating over there. The Upapada Samasa happens with a Subanta on the left. Whether that Subanta is Balam or whether that Subanta is Bala plus Ngasa is completely irrelevant over here. The Samasa happens with a Subanta on the left, but however, in the process later on, eventually you will have to get rid of the Pratyaya using Supodhatu Pratipadika Yoho, and therefore Kartru Karmano Kruti will definitely be required. Whether it is required in the same step as that of Upamadamating, whether it is required in a step before Upapadamating or whether it is required in a step after Upapadamating is completely up to you. These two are independent steps. All that I'm saying is both the steps will be required over here. Upapadamating will cause an Upapada Samasa. Kartru Karmano Kruti will cause a split on that Upapada into a Pratipadika and a Shashti Ekvachana Pratyaya, and that Shashti Ekvachana Pratyaya will then be removed using Supodhatu Pratipadika Yoho. There is another comment, up to you is ambiguous. It is not ambiguous. You don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they are independent karyas. Upapada is a subanta. Whether you write a subanta as a full-fledged subanta like Balam, or whether you write a supapada as, say, Bala plus Ngasa, both of them will be called a subanta. How do you write subanta? The Upapada Samasa has nothing to do with it. It is a style of writing. Where does it matter? It matters in the next step of Supodhatu Pratipadika Yoho, where you have to break it down. So you might want to separate it out, first do an Upapadamating and then split it out. Or if an Alaukika Vigraha is asked in the beginning, you can completely split it out and say this is an Alaukika Vigraha. So when Alaukika Vigraha has been asked for this particular word, it has to be Shakrut plus Ngasa plus Kru plus Ana, because Alaukika Vigraha is by definition separation of Prakriti Pratyaya, and therefore the Prakriti and the Pratyaya has to be separated. If an Alaukika Vigraha is not asked, you can write Upapadamating and then Kartru Karmano Kruti, or either way. It doesn't really. Basically, they are independent steps of the Prakriya. So up to you in the sense, they're completely independent steps of the Prakriya. So whether it's A to B to C or say B to A to C, it doesn't really harm. Agre Gachama, I spent a lot of time on this. Agre Gachama.
So द्वितीयं पदमस्ति नाथहारः लौकिकविग्रहः नाथं हरति इति नाथहारः मनुष्यः न तु पशुः रोहि हरणे भादि धातु तस्य अलौकिकविग्रहः भवति नाथ प्लस नस् प्लस रु प्लस अण् कृदन्तं सूत्रमस्ति कर्तृकर्मणः कृति तावदेव अनन्तरं न कर्तृकर्म हरतेर्धृति नाथयोः पशौ दिस् इस् दि कृदन्त सूत्र and with the normal achoniti ru dhatoh वृद्धि भवति नाथहारा इति पदं सिद्ध्यति so natham harati iti nathahara. Natha is the rope which is inserted into the nose of a bull or horse or whatever. Then pathirakshi, panthanam rakshati iti pathirakshi. Here again this is the alaukika pathin plus gas plus raksha plus in and the krudanta sutra is chandasi vasa vanasana rakshi masam and that in pratyaya agachati सर्वं मिलित्वा पथिरक्षि इति पदं सिद्ध्यति पन्थानं रक्षति इति पथिरक्षिः.
So this nalop of Pratipadikantese should not be here because it is only for a pada. So this na lopa of pratipadikantase will come up only when there is a su pratyaya. Till that
Hmm.
time, you have to have what is this? Is it ini pratyaya or is it in pratyaya? If it is in pratyaya, there is no question of na lopa of pratipadikantase. It's just supodhatu it's just halantyam tasya lopa and pathirakshi.
But
Agree.
Pathin will carry this one.
Oh, sorry, I completely missed. Sorry. You are talking about pathin. Yes. You're correct. You're talking about pathin. I missed that point. Sorry. I take my words back. So pathin becomes pathi because of nalopa of pratipadikantase. That is very correct. This is still a pada. Always remember, in samasa, the purva pada never leaves the pada samnya. So this is still a pada, and therefore pada and a pratipadika. Nalopa of pratipadikantase acts on a pada, which is a pratipadika. So padante vidya pratipadikantam yan padam tadantasya nakarasya. Nalopa is a single word. Nalopa nakarasya lopaha bhavati. Correct. Agree.
No, because that Pathin plus gas is having the pada samajna.
Correct.
So Pathin still carries pada samajna. So
Correct.
nalopa
Why does it still carry pada samnya? The gas is gone. How would it carry pada samnya?
pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam.
Very nice. Why not nalumatangasya blocking it?
Because it is lopa, na?
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, these are the questions that will typically get asked, and you have to be prepared. Very nice. So it is not a anga karya, right? The pratipadika samnya is given by whatever, or pada samnya is given by suptingandam padam. It's nothing to do with anga karya. So even if yatrapi yadyapi ngas pratyasya lopaha bhavati, tathapi pratyalope pratyalakshanam ityanena pratyasya yat karyam padasamnya vidhanam tad avashyam bhavati tatra nalogata lumatangasya ityasya prasaktireva nasti. Very good. Agree. So this completes the pathirakshi. There are a couple of questions. Let me just take. Why is pathirakshi ikaranta shabda? I don't understand. What should it be? Am I missing something? Let's go to the presentation. I might have completely missed the sutra here. So in pratyay asti kila. So that's what. So in pratyay asti tatra pratyay nakarasya lopaha bhavati halantyam. So okay, the confusion was whether it is an ini pratyay or acha. I see. Question was whether it is an ini pratyay or an in pratyay. No, it is in pratyaya. Had it been ini pratyaya, nakara would have stayed over there. It is in pratyaya. So nakara goes away by normal halantyam tasya lopaha. E remains, and then you have normal ikaranta word like pathirakshi. Okay, agree. Phalegrahi.
फलेग्रही फलानि गृह्णाति इति फलेग्रही एतत् वृक्षस्य कृते उपयुज्यते गृह उपादाने क्रियादि धातु तत्रापि एतत् बहुवचन अस्ति फलानि तत् इति कारणात् बहुवचनस्य षष्ठी बहुवचनस्य आम् प्रत्ययः मया योजितः अत्र फल प्लस आम् प्लस ग्रह प्लस इन and same this one and here phalegrahi iti rupam siddhati.
Tatra phala has to get converted to phale. That is an important point.
That is upapadasya edantantvam nipatyate iti.
And that's why you have phale grahiratmam bharisheti vishesham sutram eva dattam asti tatra edantatvam nipatyate. Agree.
Shokapanudaha. Shokam apanudati, it is to remove the your worries. Shokam apanudati iti shokapanudaha. Pranodha prerane tudadi dhatuhu. Shoka plus gas plus apa plus nud. And for the Krudanta Sutra, Tunda Shokayo Parimrujapanudo, that Ka Pratyaya comes there. And I don't know where I got this Shoka plus Apan. Here, this Apa is a Upasarga.
Now the sutra itself says Tunda Shokayoho Parimruja Apanudoho. So normal Nuda Dhatu is not going to come over there. It has to be Apa plus Nuda. So this is an example where you also have an Upasarga and you also have an Upapada. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. So no, because the upasarga is there, upasarga, we have to take the recourse to kugati pradayah iti upapadasya upasargasya gati samasah.
So upasargasya gati samasa, that will be for kugati pradayah. In addition, there will be a samasa for shoka, which is by upapanamating, and that's why both of these terms appear over here.
Yeah.
Okay, apa is not an upapada over here. It's not in
No,
saptami at all. Tatropapadam saptami istam. So apa ityasya samasah to avashyakah eva tadartham kugati pradaya iti sutram ishyate. शोक इत्यस्य समासः भवति तदर्थम् उपपदमतिङ् इति सूत्रम् इष्यते. अपि च शोकम् इत्यस्य अग्रे शोक प्लस ङस इति प्रकृतिप्रत्ययविभागः भवति तदर्थं कर्तृकर्मणोः प्रति इति सूत्रम् इष्यते. That's how these three sutras are needed.
सर्वाणि त्रीणि सूत्राणि आवश्यकानि.
सर्वाणि त्रीणि सूत्राणि, I gave you different purpose, right? Kugati pradaya is for apa, upapadamating is for shoka, and kartrukarmano kruti is for ngasa. Three different places are there.
अस्तु.
हा, वदन्तु अग्रे.
सो एतत् वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा शोकापनुद इति
क आगच्छति, ककारस्य अकारः लशकोत्तदिते तस्य लोपः, अत पुगन्तलघुपदस्य चिति गुणः बाधते. He has written all this. किङिति चैतन्येन गुणनिषेधः शोकापनुदः. अग्रे.
मूलविभुजः, मूलानि विभुजति इति मूलविभुजः, भुजो कौटिल्ये धातु तुदादि गणस्य, अत्र मूल आम plus v plus vibhu, same that here upasarga is also there, upapadam is also there. So the same prakriya as we had done earlier in the shokapanuda. So we get, only thing is here, as Nilesh Modaya said, because ka is the kakara lashakva taditene gachati, parantu kakara gunam nishid, because of kakara it's onyaka, bhuja doesn't become bhoja, so it remains bhuja. So mool vibhuja padam siddhati shabda.
अत्रापि अत्र पश्यन्तु, कुगति pradaya is there, upapadamating is there, kartrukarmakuti is there. All three are there like previous. So this kugati pradaya will be for v, upapadamating will be for moola, and kartrukarmano kruti will be for am. Why does an am come over here, not a gas? Because mulani iti bahuvachane asti. So shas iti pratyaya tatra moola rupena asti. So dvitiya bahuvachanam asti, atah atra shashti bahuvachanam kriyate. We just do a one-to-one mapping. That's it. ज्ञातं किल?
ज्ञातम्.
अग्रे.
अवगतम्.
अग्रे.
कुमुदं कौ इत्युक्ते पृथिव्यां मोदते इति कुमुदं मुद पुष्पस्य विषये अस्ति. मुद हर्षे धातु भुवादिगणस्य आत्मनेपदी. अत्रापि कौ इति सप्तमी विभक्ति अस्ति, अतः मया ङी प्रत्यय सप्तमी एकवचनस्य 2 प्लस ङी इति लिखितमस्ति.
So why is there a kartrukarmano kruti here? This should not be here at all. Kartrukarmano kruti is a special case of dvitiya to shashti.
Oh.
Okay, so every time we do a prakriti pratyaya vibhaga, we don't want kartrukarmano kruti. It is always for dvitiya to shashti. Here it is saptami. Saptami will remain as saptami. So you don't need kartrukarmano kruti. Okay.
अस्तु. अनन्तरं ङी प्रत्यय सुपो धातु प्रतिपदिक इत्यनेन गच्छति. कु प्लस मुद प्लस क इति अवशिष्यते. ककारात् मुद धातोः गुणः न भवति. वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा कुमुद इति पदं सिद्ध्यति. कौ मोदते इति कुमुदम्.
Something not in our syllabus, but kumuda plus su is equal to kumudam. There is no sutra called Swamor Napumsakat over here. Does anybody remember what is the sutra over here? If we decide to quote a sutra, it should be correct. Otherwise, we should not quote a sutra. So, I mean, I completely missed all these points while preparing this paper. Otherwise, I would have told you that time only. But So swamor napumsakat basically tells tatra luk bhavati. So vari or say madhu.
Oh,
तत्र स्वमोर् नपुंसकात् इति भवति तस्य अपवादत्वेन अकारान्त शब्देभ्यः किं भवति somebody has correctly answered 2-3 people have answered so atom is the answer so समोर् नपुंसकात् इत्यस्य अपवादत्वेन अत्र atom इति सूत्रं विद्यते not required for this prakriya you could have easily stopped at kumuda but if we are going ahead or you just write say subanta prakriya that is also acceptable to write if you write it should be the correct sutra agree
अस्तु
agree
गोष्ठः गावः तिष्ठन्ति अस्मिन् इति गोष्ठः कौशेड् सो ठा गतिनिवृत्तौ धातु स्था प्लस here because this is the prathama bahuvachan gavaha tishtanti so go plus jas plus tha plus ka and सुपिस्था इति सुपिस्था इत्यनेन क प्रत्ययः आगच्छति so go plus tha plus ka and since ka kakarah is the itsaumega varna ato lopa iti चेतेन तत्र आकारस्य लोपः भवति सो वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा गोष्ठः इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति अत्र एक very long sutra is there amba amba go bhumi and all that so here the sa becomes shra the shatvam nipatyate iti sutram asti so 202 iti
अत्र पश्यतु what is speciality in this particular विग्रह लौकिक विग्रह गावः तिष्ठन्ति अस्मिन् अतः अत्र उपपदस्य प्रथमा विभक्तिः अस्ति अपि च कृदन्तस्य सप्तमी विभक्त्यर्थे तत्र प्रत्ययः कृतः अस्ति अतः उपपद we have seen this in the session on like karmanyana we have seen all various possible permutations and combinations like upapadasya prathama vibhakti no chet krudantena kartuh nirdeshah karmanah nirdeshah karanasya nirdeshah and so on so here upapadasya prathama vibhakti asti krudantena cha adhikaranasya nirdeshah kriyate so these kind of permutation combinations will definitely come in the exam for like 5 to 10 marks because we have a full 100 marks paper so I have enough variety to I need to add enough variety so for 5 marks I'll send just this like give me one example of this particular upapada and this particular final krudanta like say prathamantam upapadam karmani krut pratyaya or say tritiyantam upapadam kartari krut pratyaya so just work out all possible permutation combinations on your own and you should be able to score marks over there so this is one typical example for example where upapada is in the prathama vibhakti the krudanta is in the adhikarana karaka gavah tishtanti asmin iti uchyate agree padapah
here also a similar case padena pibati iti padapah
similar case here it is tritiya upapada and prathama krudanta
krudanta so pa pane dhatu bhadi dhatu pla plus pada plus ta tritiya pratyaya ta and pa plus ka atopanusarge kaha iti ka pratyayasya sutram here there is no prakriya except ato lopa iti च इत्यनेन पादातो आकारस्य लोपः भवति वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा पादप इति प्राप्यते सो पादेन पिबति इति पादपः then akhuttah yes
I said last one akhuttah
akhunam utthanam iti akhuttah this is a typical case where the krudanta is in the bhave sense so when the rats are multiplying too much so that time or that the bhava is called akutha. So tha gati nivritta iti dhatu. अलौकिक वगैरह आखु आम because आखु नाम षष्ठी बहुवचन अस्ति अतः आखु प्लस आम and ut is the upasarga ut stha plus ka supistha इत्यनेन ककारस्य सूत्रमस्ति. So then now here सुपिस्था इत्यस्य योगविभागं कृत्वा स्था इति भिन्नसूत्रे प्राप्ते भावे प्रत्यय विधानमस्ति. It is not in the sense of karta or karma or any other this one. So भावे प्रत्यय विधानम स्था इत्यस्य योगविभाग सूत्रस्य विभागं कृत्वा प्राप्यते. अनन्तरं सर्वं स्था धातोः आकारस्य आतलोप इति इत्यनेन आकारस्य लोपः भवति. अनन्तरम् उदस्था स्तम्भो पूर्वस्य इत्यनेन सकारस्य थकारः भवति and that थकारः which has come because of उदस्था स्तम्भो तस्य झरो झरि सवर्णे इत्यनेन एकस्य थकारस्य लोपः भवति. अनन्तरं सर्वं मिलित्वा आखुत्था अकः सवर्णदीर्घः अत्र कुत्र आगच्छति महोदय?
U plus U.
Akhu, yes.
Correct. So there are two things that I want to discuss over here. Sarva prathamam tu, first line, when you convert stha to stha, dhatvadesha saha is not sufficient. You have to write nimitta paye naimittikasyapi apayah. Kimartham? Dhatvadesha saha will only convert sh to sa. How would you justify th to th? You have to write nimitta paye naimittikasyapi apayah. So both of these, I think in some homeworks I have seen only first dhatvadesha saha. So I've told them, or I've modified the answer sheet to write the another one. So second has to be written. Second question, actually, I would like somebody of you to answer, not necessarily you, Mohoday, anybody can answer this question. Atra pashatu prakriyayam, atra ato lopai teacher and so on is okay. Udastha stambho purvasya, this is actually a Tripadi sutram. Jharo jhari savarne, it's actually Tripadi, one of the last sutras of Ashtadhyayi. After Jharo jhari savarne, there are 4 or 5 sutras and Ashtadhyayi ends. So Jharo jhari savarne is all the way last sutra of Ashtadhyayi. And suddenly I jump to Akas savarne dirgha, which is 6.1. Is that not a violation of asiddhadhikara? Is the question that I have. Is there a mistake in this prakriya? I explicitly wrote this prakriya like this over there. I don't think it was in this order in your original. Or maybe if it was like that, I explicitly kept it like that for reason. So, yeah, that's okay. I mean, whether it was there or not, it's okay. But I would like people to focus on this and tell me, is this a mistake? Is this not a mistake? Is this acceptable? Not acceptable? Anybody can just type a message saying I want to answer, and I'll unmute them. So prashnaha atra spashtah asti iti manye. Udasthastambho purvasya is a Tripadi sutram. Jharo jhari savarne is a Tripadi sutram. There is no problem. Udasthastambho purvasya is a Purva sutram. Jharo jhari savarne iti Parasutram. So you can actually do over there. And suddenly you have jumped back into Sapada Saptadhyayi with Akas savarne dirghaha. In the introductory classes of grammar, I would say this is wrong. But why did I write over there? Is there something that we probably as advanced students of the grammar should know about Purvatra Siddham? If there is anybody who wants to talk about this. So somebody is saying Varna Dangam Baliyaha, but none of this is Angakarya. I mean, Udasthastambha Purvase is not Angakarya, Jharo jhari savarna is not Angakarya, Akas savarna dirgha is not Angakarya. So Varna Dangam Baliyaha is not a correct point of discussion over here. I'm going to keep
the sutram asti after the Purvatra Siddham sutram, the Dvitiyam sutram asti Dvitiya padasya Ashtama adhyasya na lopas swara saudhnya tugvidishu kruti. So here it is a swara prakriya.
No, but that is nalopa. It only talks about nakara lopa. Nalopa supswara samnyatuk vidishu kruti is only about nakara lopa. It has nothing to do with other situations. Okay, the sutra itself says nalopa supswara samnyatuk vidishu kruti. Okay, so it talks about nakara lopa by nalopa pratipadikantasya. There is another comment over here which says sandhi is last. So there is no such niyam. Sandhi is last. I mean, if you look at the The flowchart that I have given, Sandhi is somewhere before the Tripadi Karya. So if you actually it makes sense to look at the flowchart. If you go to the Krut Prakriya, and these are minor things that if you go to this Vidhi, the flowchart over here, I hope it's appearing on the screen. Okay, now I think it has appeared. Look at this. There is step number 8, step number 9, which is Varna Karyam, and step number 10, which is Tripadi Karyam. So technically, Tripadi Karyam should be at the end. Varna Karyam should be first. Why do I do this particular thing? These particular things. Okay, if there are no answers, I'm going to keep this question hanging. I want people to go back and think about it.
Okay.
There is somebody who has kind of said something that I was looking for. I'm just going to unmute Kumar Dhanashekharan. You can speak whatever you are saying right now. You'll have to unmute yourself before you talk. Kumar Dhanashekharan, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear. Explain what you mentioned.
Yeah, so I just was not fully sure, but basically the karyam that has happened before has no connection to the next karyam, right? So the
Excellent.
U plus U,
Excellent.
there is no karyam on that resulted in that U plus U.
Excellent.
Therefore, there is no conflict.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So let me explain what he's saying. Contrary to common belief, Purvatra Siddham does not say that there has to be one-way traffic. Purvatra Siddham does not say that Tripadi Karya has to be executed after Sapada Saptadhyayi Karya. This is okay to be taught in the introductory classes of Sanskrit grammar or Ashtadhyayi, not in the advanced classes. We should really understand the meaning of what Purvatra Siddham is. Purvatra Siddham says that if a Karya is done by a Tripadi Sutra, the result of that Karya will not be visible by Sapada Saptadhyayi. Tripadyaha kritam karyam Sapada Saptadhyayaha sutraihi na drishyate. So if A plus B is combined by Tripadi to give a C, then a Sapada Saptadhyayi Sutra will not see that final result C at all. It will still consider A plus B as sitting over there. Now, what is happening over here? Here, the Uta plus Tha is getting converted to Uta plus Tha is getting converted to Uta plus Tha, and so on. The Tripadi is acting on a completely different segment of the Prakriya. The Sapada Saptadhyayi Akassavarne Dirghaha that you are trying to act is on a completely different segment of the Prakriya. It is on Akhu plus U. What happens after that? The Sapada Saptadhyayi does not need to know and does not need to care. It is a completely different parallel pathway, and therefore Akassavarne Dirghaha has no problem in executing after Jharo Jhari Savarne of Udastastambha of Purvasya, because anyway Akasavarne Dirgha will not know and does not need to know what Udastastambha of Purvasya is doing and what Jharo Jhari Savarne is doing. These two sutras are independently acting on a completely different location in the Prakriya. Akasavarni Dirghaha is completely oblivious to them, and it may continue to be oblivious to that because all that Akasavarni Dirgha wants to operate is on Akhu plus U. Now, with this particular explanation, an obvious question, somebody has already asked this question over here. An obvious next question comes over here. Why do you go in such a big complexity? Why not do Akasavarne Dirgha earlier? So maybe as soon as you do Atolopa Iticha, you should really do Akasavarne Dirgha, make Akhut, and then combine all the whatever Udasta Sambos Purvasya and Jharo Jhari Savarne and all that. So somebody is asking a very apt question. Why not do Akasavarne Dirgha first and then avoid all this weird complexity? Does anybody over here have an answer to this? Is that just a weird method of writing Prakriya, or is there a reason to this? Anybody who has studied the Tadhita Prakaranam that I taught earlier properly will have to have an answer to this question. This is one of the fundamental principles that we learned in the beginning of the Tadhita Prakaranam. But anyway, I assume many of you might not have learned it. It's a topic that gets usually, ignored or discarded. But I would like people, there are many of you who are probably doing your MA Shastri, whatever. I would like you to think about it and tell me, why did I wait all the way till the end to do Akasavarne Dirgha? Why could not I, why did not I do it earlier? As somebody is aptly asking, I should be doing Akasavarne Dirgha earlier and then going ahead with this. I'll take a minute for people. I'll wait a minute for people to think, because this is what makes grammar, or Sanskrit fun. It's fully logic. There is nothing beyond logic in this whole thing. Think about it. Okay, let me not spend more time. Well, the answer over here is that uta plus stha plus a. This is a kind of a coherent karya. It is a kind of an antaranga karya if you look at it. Akhu is always an external entity. Therefore, combination of akhu with uta plus tha plus a is comparatively bahiranga karya. And then yes, somebody is pointing it in the right way. You want to finish the karya on uta first. Why do I want to finish the karya on uta first? Because uta plus stha plus a is a single coherent entity. Remember, upapada samasa is being done over here. Between whom and whom is this upapada samasa is done? Upapada samasa is being done between akhu and am as an entity on the left hand side, and uta plus stha plus ka as an entity on the other side. The first entity in the Upapada Samasa is a Subanta. The second entity in the Upapada Samasa is a Krudanta. They are combined together to finally form a Samastapada. Therefore, inside this particular bigger Samastapada, there are two smaller coherent entities which are grouped among themselves. One of them being Akhu plus Am, other being Uta plus Tha plus Ka, and therefore karyas within uta plus tha plus ka are antaranga to itself. Karyas within akhu plus am is antaranga in itself. The karyas between the two are bahiranga to each other. So somebody is asking, is it wrong to do akasavarne dirghaha after atolopai teacher? Here it gives the same result. So whether you do it or not, it doesn't really matter. But there are situations where it will create problems. In Tadhita Prakaranam, for example, there are situations. The reason why Tadhita Prakaranam causes a problem over here is Tadhita Pratyaya is cause Adi Vruddhi. Here the Krut Pratyayas cause Antima Varnasya Vruddhi. We know that if there is a Pratyaya which has an Akara in it, it causes Antima Varnasya Vruddhi. Whereas on the other hand, Tadhita Pratyayas are risky in the sense they cause Adi Vruddhi. They cause Vruddhi of the Adi Varna. Now you are in a trouble. If you do a Savarna Dirgha in the beginning, the definition of Adi Varna completely changes. If you decide to do Akhu plus Uta in the beginning, A will suddenly start becoming Adi Varna. Whereas what Adi Varna you are looking for is U, because the single coherent entity is uta plus tha plus a. So this particular situation creates phenomenal chaos in Tadhita Prakaranam if you place this akasavarne dirgha at the wrong place. Only after the entire pratyaya karya is completed, you should look outside and do the sandhi karya. So somebody is asking, is it wrong to do akasavarne dirgha after atolopa iticha? Well, you are lucky you are in a Kridanta Prakriya, so it won't even matter. So even if you do Akasavarne Dirgha after Atolopa Itisha, it might be okay, but technically it is not correct. Why? Because Uta plus Tha plus A is a single coherent entity which has to be completely mixed together, resulting in the final product, and then an external entity has to be brought in. You have a luxury today because you are in the Krudanta Prakaranam. If you step in the Tadhita Prakaranam, it's no more a luxury, it's a necessity. If you end up in doing the Sandhikarya in the beginning, you will completely get a different result. And therefore, just to have a single rule across Krudantas and Tadhitas and Sthiti Pratyayas and all that, it may be okay, or it may be recommended to do Akasavarne Dirgha all the way at the end after all the other karyas of this particular entity are done. And therefore, I have written Akasavarne Dirgha towards the end. Anyway, enough of this discussion. But I think this was very important. First point that I wanted to mention is Nimitta Paya Naimittikasya Payaha is fundamental. and second is अत्र अकस्सवर्णे दीर्घः इति बहिरङ्गकार्यमस्ति कस्य अपेक्षया अत्र उत प्लस थ प्लस अ इत्यस्य अपेक्षया बहिरङ्गकार्यमस्ति. So you have to completely do that uta plus th plus a together and then do akhu th. What will happen if you do akhu and uta first? Nothing is going to happen here, but you will end up in trouble in corresponding prakriya in the Tadhita Prakarana. There are a few comments. Let me just right, so somebody is pointing putting a parenthesis in the prakriya can actually be helpful. Yes, putting a parenthesis in the prakriya is extremely helpful in this particular context. So that it, I mean, especially over here, like akhu plus am. Let me actually put the parenthesis over here to show this akhu plus am and this ut plus tha plus ka. This kind of parenthesizing, it will be very useful to make sure what is antaranga and what is bahiranga. Okay, agre gachhama. I hope people learned something new in this particular class. These are small things that we don't get time to discuss in the actual sessions, but these are very important gems that one should know, those who are seriously studying grammar, and therefore these kind of sessions are useful. Anyway, agre gachhama. Supistha iti sutram. Bhavata eva likhitam kila asya answer. Namaste. You have to unmute yourself, Mohoday.
Yeah.
Namaste.
वद अग्रे गच्छामः. यः प्रश्नः अस्ति सुपिस्थः सूत्रं व्याख्यानानाम् आधारेण स्पष्टीकुरुत. सो अत्र तृतीय अध्यायस्य द्वितीयपादस्य प्रथम चत्वारि सूत्राणि अत्र स्थापितानि मया लिखितानि. प्रथमं सूत्रमस्ति कर्मण्यं, द्वितीयं वावामश्च, तृतीयम् आतोनुपसर्गे कः, चतुर्थं सुपिस्थः. सो अत्र द्वितीय सूत्रस्य विचारः न क्रियते. अवशिष्टेषु त्रिषु सूत्रेषु प्रथमं सूत्रात् कर्मणि इति अनुवर्तते. सो द थर्ड सूत्र बिकम्स अतः अनुपसर्गे कर्मणि कः इति तृतीयं सूत्रस्य अर्थः भवति. तृतीयं सूत्रम् एवं भवति. अस्य अर्थः उपसर्गस्य अनुपस्थितौ आकारान्त धातोः कर्मणि उपपदे क प्रत्ययः स्यात्. भाष्यकारः अत्र सुपिस्थः इत्यस्य सूत्रस्य सुपि तथा स्थः इति योगविभागं सूचयति. अनेन सिद्धे प्रथमे भागे इति सुपि इत्यत्र तृतीयं सूत्रं संपूर्णम् अनुवर्तते. तेन see this 3.2.4 it gets split into two sutras. The first one will have supi, and here the third sutra with all the anurtis will be completely what to say, it will be recalled here. So I mean this is my own convention 3.2.41. So here with all the anurtis and only the supi, so it will be ata anupasarge supi kaha. सो इति प्राप्ते तस्य अर्थः भवति उपसर्गस्य अनुपस्थितौ आकारान्त धातौ कस्मिन्नपि कारके सुबन्ते उपपदे कर्तृर्थे क प्रत्ययः स्यात्. एंड देन स्थः इति द्वितीयः प्रत्ययः क्रियते, द्वितीयः भागः. देयर तृतीय सूत्रात् कः इति अनुवर्तते. तेन दिस 3.2.4 सेकंड वन सुपिस्थः क इति प्राप्यते. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज स्था धातु स्वयं आकारान्त एव अस्ति इति कारणात् कर्तृ तु 3.2.41 अनेनैव कर्तृर्थे क प्रत्ययः प्रसक्ति पूर्वमेव सिद्धा. व्याख्यानानाम् अनुसारेण द सेकंड पार्ट सुपिस्थः क इत्यस्य प्रयोजनं कर्तृर्थे नास्ति अपितु भावे अस्ति. सो आई मीन that shows that this supisthaka, the second division, it is not only I mean not for the any other sense kartra, not for any other karaka, but in the sense of bhave. So this the second. Tena akhunam utthanam, what we have discussed just now, akhutta shalabhanam utthanam shalavotta ityadi rupani siddhanti. So the main purpose of breaking supistha is to say that this sutra can be used for not only in the kartru or karma sense or karana sense, but in the bhave sense also. That's all.
Wonderful. Well explained. So basically अत्र योग अस्य सूत्रस्य व्याख्याने वस्तुतस्तु योगविभागः अत्र करणीयः. किमर्थं योगविभागः करणीयः? तत्र भावे प्रत्ययविधानं भवेत् इत्येव अत्र विधानम्. अस्तु महोदय, धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः.
Give me 1 minute. I should be back in a minute, and then we will go to the next one. Okay, we can go to the next one. Next is exercise 59. Rajalakshmi Mahodaya. Namaste. Namaste. न श्रूयते. न श्रूयते. Are people able to hear? Maybe is there a problem in my side? Okay, meanwhile, let me just okay, hold on. Meanwhile, let me just answer a question that was asked earlier, like what exactly is the Yoga Vibhaga? Somebody says I forgot. So Yoga Vibhaga is basically breaking down a sutra into two different sutras so as to achieve a certain prayoga. That's called Yoga Vibhaga. Yoga Vibhaga is not like a free license to break down pratyas or whatever sutras the way we want. It's basically a mechanism to break down the sutra so that we can actually get some desired prayogas. So shalabhothaha or akhutthaha, these pratyas have to be justified. So supistha has been broken down. That's called Yoga Vibhaga. Okay, Rajalakshmi ji, I have unmuted you. You have to probably find out a. We can wait for a minute. If you have any other mic or anything, please feel free to take a minute or two and then. Namaste. Can you try to speak now? I see you have logged in from a different machine.
Hello.
Now I can hear you.
Okay. नमस्तेभ्यः. इदानीं 49तमः पाठस्य स्वाध्यायचर्चा. उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ अच् प्रत्ययः. प्रथमः प्रश्नः अस्ति, रूपयोर्मध्ये भेदं स्पष्टीकुरुत. सूत्रग्राहः सूत्रं धारयति इति वृत्तिः. सूत्रं गृह्णाति धारयति इति सूत्रग्रहः. सूत्र इति उपपदं ग्रह उपादाने धातुः अच् प्रत्ययः. हरतेरनुद्यमनेच् इत्यस्मिन् सूत्रे सूत्रे च धार्यर्थे इति वार्तिकम् अस्ति. अनेन सूत्र उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ धारयति अस्मिन् अर्थे ग्रहेः उपसंख्यानं करणीयम्. सूत्रं धारयति स्ववपुषि धरति इत्यर्थः। सूत्रग्राहः सूत्रं गृह्णाति उपादत्ते इति सूत्रग्राहः। सूत्र इति उपपदं, ग्रह उपादाने धातुः, अण् प्रत्ययः, कर्मण्यण् इति सूत्रम्। अत्र सूत्रं केवलम् उपादत्ते, न तु धरति वा धारयति, केवलं गृह्णाति इति अर्थः। द्वितीयं पुष्पाहारः पुष्पाहरः। पुष्पाहरः पुष्पाणि आहरति इति शीलम् अस्य, सः पुष्पाहरः। महोदय अत्र पुष्पाहरः इति करणीयम्। पुष्पाणि इति कर्मणि उपपदम्, आङ् पूर्वात् हृञ् धातुः, अच् प्रत्ययः, आङ्गिताच्छील्ये इति सूत्रम्। अत्र पूर्वतनसूत्रात् अच् इति अनुवर्तते। प्रतिफलम् अनपेक्षया कार्यं करोति, स्वाभाविकी प्रवृत्तिः इति अर्थः। पुष्पाहारः पुष्पाणि आहरति इति पुष्पाहारः। पुष्पाणि इति उपपदम्, आङ् पूर्वात् हृञ् धातुः, अत्र अण् प्रत्ययः, कर्मण्यण् इति सूत्रम्। प्रतिफल अपेक्षया कार्यं करोति इति अर्थः। अग्रिमः स्तम्भे रमः स्तम्भे रन्ता। स्तम्भे रमः स्तम्भे रमते इति स्तम्भे रमः। स्तम्भ इति उपपदं, रमक्रीडायां धातुः, अच् प्रत्ययः। स्तम्भकर्णयोः रमिजपोः इति सूत्रम्। यत्र हस्ति इति एव अन्तिमः अर्थः अपेक्षते तत्र एव प्रयोक्तव्यः। हस्तिसूचकयोः इति वक्तव्यम् इति अत्र वार्तिकम् अस्ति। अत्र हलदन्तात् सप्तम्याः संज्ञायाम् इति सूत्रेण संज्ञार्थे नेर् अलुक् भवति। स्तम्भे रन्ता स्तम्भे रमते इति स्तम्भे रन्ता। स्तम्भ इति उपपदं, रमक्रीडायां धातुः, तृच् प्रत्ययः, अत्र न्वन् तृचौ इति सूत्रम्। यत्र हस्ति इति अर्थं न अपेक्षते तत्र तु केवलात् रमधातोः तृच् प्रत्ययः एव भवति। गिरिशः गिरिशयः। गिरिशः गिरौ शेते इति गिरिशः। गिरि इति उपपदं, शीङ् स्वप्ने धातुः, ड प्रत्ययः। अधिकरणे शेतेः इत्यत्र गिरौ डस् छन्दसि इति वार्तिकम्। छन्दसि एव अस्य शब्दस्य प्रयोजनं, लौकिके न प्रयोजनं। गिरौ शेते इति गिरिशः, छन्दसि एव। गिरिशयः गिरौ शेते इति गिरिशयः। गिरि इति उपपदं, शीङ् स्वप्ने धातुः, अच् प्रत्ययः। अधिकरणे शेतेः इति सूत्रम्। गिरौ शेते इति यत्र लौकिकप्रयोगः अस्ति तत्र गिरिशयः इति प्रयोक्तव्यम्। खेशयः खशयः। खेशयः खे शेते इति खेशयः। खे इति उपपदं, शीङ् स्वप्ने धातुः, अच् प्रत्ययः। अधिकरणे शेतेः इति सूत्रम्। शयवासवासिषु अकालात् इति सप्तम्याः विकल्पेन अलुक् भवति। अत्र खे शब्दस्य सप्तमी विभक्तिः लुक् न भवति। खशयः खे शेते इति खशयः। खे इति उपपदं, शीङ् स्वप्ने धातुः, अच् प्रत्ययः। अधिकरणे शेतेः इति सूत्रम्। अत्र खे शब्दस्य सप्तमी विभक्तेः लुक् भवति, अतः खे इति न भवति, खशयः इति भवति।
उत्तमम्। सो सरलाः प्रश्नाः एते सर्वे। अत्र स्पष्टीकरणार्थं किमपि नास्ति। In exam also please expect such questions like Stambhe Ramaha versus Stambhe Ranta, and then I'll give an option like, say, which of this is given by such and such sutra. So for example, I might say Stambha Karnayoho Ramijapoho Ittanena Stambhe Ramaha versus Stambhe Ranta, which will be given. Or a question will be like Stambhe Ramaha versus Stambhe Ranta, which is sadhu as per a certain sutra, or in general which is sadhu. So typically, for example, here pushpaharah, pushpaharah, which is sadhu according to a given sutram, and so on. So these you can definitely expect these kind of questions. अग्रे गच्छामः. संक्षेपेण उत्तराणि लिखतु.
प्रथमः प्रश्नः, शमि संज्ञायाम् इति सिद्धे धातुग्रहणं किमर्थम्? तृतीयाध्यायस्य द्वितीयपादे उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ धातुभ्यः प्रत्ययविधानं क्रियते. अतः शमि संज्ञायाम् इति एव सूत्रं क्रियते चेदपि सर्वधातुभ्यः शम् उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ संज्ञानिर्देशार्थम् अच् प्रत्ययः भवेत् इति अर्थः भवितुम् अर्हति. यथापि अत्र धातोः इति प्रत्ययगौरवः कृतः अस्ति. तस्य कारणम् अस्ति शम् उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ अन्यः प्रत्ययः अपि भवितुम् अर्हति चेदपि तद् बाधित्वा अच् प्रत्ययः एव भवेत्. यथा क्रियोहेतुताच्छील्यानुलोम्येषु इति सूत्रे कृ धातोः ताच्छील्यार्थे ट प्रत्ययः भवति. यत्र शम् इति उपपदं तथा कृ धातोः ताच्छील्यार्थे प्रयोगः कर्तव्यः तत्र पूर्वपरन्यायेन परसूत्रं स्यात्. अनेन ट प्रत्ययस्य प्रसक्तिः भवेत्. परन्तु तं बाधित्वा अच् प्रत्ययः प्रयोक्तव्यः इति निर्देशयितुं शमि धातोः संज्ञायाम् अस्मिन् सूत्रे धातुग्रहणं कृतमस्ति. वस्तुतस्तु अत्र पुल्लिङ्गे शमि उपपदे कृ धातु विषये ताच्छील्यार्थे ट प्रत्ययः भवति वा अच् प्रत्ययः अन्तिमरूपे कोऽपि भेदः न दृश्यते. यथा शम कृ ट इति शङ्करः भवति. अच् प्रत्ययः योजयित्वा अपि शम् कृ अच् शङ्करः इति एव रूपं सिद्ध्यति. परन्तु स्त्रीलिङ्गे शमि उपपदे कृ धातोः विषये ताच्छील्यार्थे ट प्रत्ययः भवति चेत् टित् ढ अण् ऐ द्व्यसच् दघ्रच् मात्रच् तयप् ठक् ठञ् कै क्वरपः इति तापोपवादसूत्रेण स्त्रियां नि प्रत्ययः भवति. तेन शम् कृ ट नीप् वर्णयोजनं कृत्वा शङ्करी इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति. परन्तु इष्टं रूपम् अस्ति शङ्करा. शङ्करा नाम परिव्राजिका, शङ्करा नाम शकुनिका. अतः शमि उपपदे अयं ट प्रत्ययः अच् प्रत्ययं न बाधेत इति स्पष्टीकर्तुम् अत्र धातोः इति पदं स्वीकृतम् अस्ति. द्वितीयः प्रश्नः, पूजाम् अर्हति इत्यत्र अण् प्रत्ययेनैव रूपे सिद्धे अच् प्रत्ययविधानं किमर्थम्? स्त्रीलिङ्गविशेषः अयं प्रत्ययः. पुल्लिङ्गे तु अण् प्रत्ययः भवेत् उत अच् प्रत्ययः भवेत् समानरूपं सिद्ध्यति. पूजा अर्ह अण् पूजार्हः, पूजा अर्ह अच् अपि पूजार्हः. परन्तु स्त्रीलिङ्गे अण् प्रत्यये कृते स्त्रियां टिड्ढाणै इति तापोपवादः सूत्रेण नीप् भवति. येन पूजा अर्ह अण् नीप् वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा पूजार्हि इति अनिष्टं रूपं भवति. इष्टरूपं तु पूजार्हा इति. तदर्थम् अर्ह धातोः अच् प्रत्ययं कृत्वा अजाद्यतष्टाप् इति सूत्रेण टाप् प्रत्यये कृते पूजा अर्ह अच् टाप् पूजार्हा इति इष्टं रूपं भवति. पूजार्हा ब्राह्मणी. अतः स्त्रीलिङ्गरूपस्य सिद्ध्यर्थम् अच् प्रत्ययविधानम् अत्र आवश्यकम्. स्तम्भकर्णयोरमिजपोः इत्यत्र सुपि इति किमर्थम् अभिसम्बध्यते? स्तम्भ इति उपपदं रमु धातुना सह सम्बध्यते. अत्र रम् धातुः अकर्मकः अस्ति. अतः अस्य धातोः अकर्मकत्वात् सुबन्त उपपदस्य प्रयोगः भवति. स्तम्भे रमते, स्तम्भे रमः हस्ति. अपि च कर्णे इति उपपदं जप् धातुना सह सम्बध्यते. अत्र जप् धातुः सकर्मकः धातुः अस्ति. परन्तु जप् धातोः केवलं शब्दः एव कर्म भवितुम् अर्हति, अन्यपदं न. इत्युक्ते कर्ण इति पदं कर्मपदं भवितुं न अर्हति. अतः जपेः शब्दकर्मकत्वात् अत्रापि सुपि इति सम्बध्यते। कर्णे जपति इति कर्णे जपः। कर्णे जपः इत्यत्र पूर्वपदविभक्तेः अलुक् कथं भवति? जप धातुः हलन्तधातुः अस्ति। हलदन्तात् सप्तम्याः संज्ञायाम् इति सूत्रेण संज्ञार्थे नेर् अलुक् भवति। अपि च तत्पुरुषे कृतिबहुलम् इति सूत्रेण संज्ञायां कृदन्ते उत्तरपदे सप्तम्याः अलुक् भवति इति अपि वक्तुं शक्यते।
So apicha over here means either of the way is acceptable. Kutrachit halam. Actually, Kashika gives both of them. Halantat samnyaya saptamya samnyam ityanena api bhavitum arhati. Nochet tatpurushe kruti bahulam. That's like a piece of cake. Bahulam asti. All things are allowed. So tatpurushe kruti bahulam ityanena api bhavati. So you have a choice. You can choose whichever sutra you want. Kashika has given both of them.
हरतेर् अनुद्यमनेच् इत्यनेनैव वयसः विषये अपि अच् प्रत्यये प्राप्ते वयसि च इति सूत्रस्य किं प्रयोजनम्? हरतेर् अनुद्यमनेच् इदं सूत्रम् अनुद्यमनार्थे एव प्रयुज्यते। इत्युक्ते केवलं धार्यर्थे इदं सूत्रं प्रयोक्तव्यं, न तु उत्थापयति अस्मिन् अर्थे। वयसि च अस्मिन् सूत्रे विशेषेण शक्त्या उत्थापयति इति अर्थे वयसः निर्देशार्थं प्रत्ययः भवति। यत्र उद्यमनेन शक्त्या उत्थापनक्रियया वयः ज्ञायते तत्र अयं विधिः प्रयुज्यते। उद्यमनार्थे अयम् आरम्भः इति आशयः। अतः पूर्वसूत्रेण अनुद्यमनविषये वयसः विषये अपि अच् प्रत्यये प्राप्ते उद्यमनेन वयसः सूचनार्थं वयसि च इति सूत्रम् आवश्यकम्।
Uttamam. We had a detailed discussion of what is a Kumar and all that. I still remember at that particular time for this sutra. Astu. Samyak rupena uktam. So, as I mentioned specifically on this particular patha, we'll have questions like, distinguish between these two in one line, or which pratyay is used in this particular context, and so on. Also, for example, I can also give a question like this: Pujam arhati tyatra an pratyena rupe siddhe ach pratyay vidhanam kimartham, and then I'll give you 4 reasons, one of which will be correct. Or I'll ask you to write it in a single line, and you'll have to explain it in a single line. Dhanyavada bhagini, uttama rupena spashtikrutam. I'll unmute you now. We have like quite some time, so let's see. Let's go to exercise 60. I might not be able to complete it today, but we have enough time. Let's see. At least the first question we should be able to do. So Shashti Tamaha Atra Abhyasaha Vijay Kumar. Namaste. You'll have to unmute yourself. Namaste.
Namaste, Srite va?
Samyak Shruyate. Prarabhatam.
At outset, I thank Nilesh ji for thoroughly revising my answers. It helped me in different way. Though I was attending for 1 year, I was not fully understanding how to understand and how to present. At least now, after getting the mail from Nilesh ji, it was so clear that where I am making mistake, what I should do, what I should not do. And not only that, this Krit Prakriya flowchart, though I have been watching for 1 year, it was looking like something, not to digest fully. But he mentioned one way that you are just violating the flowchart. After this, it took just only 1 hour. Now the entire flowchart was registered in my mind. Now there is no need to refer again and again. I'm so happy that the whole flowchart now I am very clearly keep in my mind. Now I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to give a little context on what you mentioned just now. People might not be aware.
No,
So
that I'll explain when it comes. When the point comes, I will explain.
Okay, sure. Okay. Thank you.
Whenever the point comes, I'll certainly explain.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead.
That is better, so that there may be 1 or 2 students like me who have not opted so far. So they should not make these mistakes. So those I will explain.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
भिक्षा सेनादायेषु च कथं प्रेक्ष्य स्थितां सहचरीम् इति पचादिषु चरट् इति पाठात्। भिक्षा सेना आदाय इति एतेषु उपपदेषु चरेः धातोः टाप् प्रत्ययो भवति। भिक्षाचरः, सेनाचरः, आदायचरः। परन्तु रघुवंशे सहचरी इति शब्दः दृश्यते। लक्ष्मीकृतस्य हरिणस्य हरिप्रभावः प्रेक्ष्य स्थितां सहचरीं व्यवधाय देहम् आकर्णकृष्टमपि कामितया सधन्वी बाणं कृपा मृदुमनाः प्रतिसंजहार। वेरी नैस् पोयम्। अत्र सहचरी इत्यत्र सहपूर्वकात् चरधातोः टाप् प्रत्ययः कथं भवति इति प्रश्ने प्राप्ते सिद्धान्तकौमुद्यां स्पष्टीक्रियते यत् अत्र टाप् प्रत्ययः नास्ति, अपि तु चरधातोः अच् प्रत्ययः कृतः अस्ति। चरट् शब्दः नन्दिग्राहि पचादिभ्यो युणि अन्यचः इत्यत्र पचादिगणे पाठितः अस्ति। तस्मात् अच् प्रत्ययं कृत्वा चर इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति। अग्रे सहचरः इति सहचर इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति। टित्वात् टिड्ढान् इति सूत्रेण गी प्रत्ययः भवति। सह चरा प्लस गी इति स्थिते अनुबन्धलोपे सहचरी इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति। Here there are only 3 words given as upapada. One is bhiksha, one is sena, and one is adaya. But the saha word was not given in the sutra. So that how the saha word has getting the ta prachaya. For this, it was mentioned that it is not the ta prachaya because the charity it was mentioned in the Ganapada is like a chariot, so that we should take that chariot, make achprachaya. In fact, here also I was thinking initially that this chariot only when sahapuraka only, if only saha is there, then only chara plus ach will come. I think it is not correct. First we had make chariot plus ach, chara will come, then you can add saha, then we sahachara. Mr. Nilesh, is it correct?
Absolutely.
Or is it
So
only with,
no. Chara has to be combined with acha to form a standalone
yes,
chara.
pushed.
Look at this. Charat shabdah nandigiri pachadibhyo pachadigane. Pachadigana nandigiri pachadibhe sheet number 2. When you are in sheet number 2, upapada is not in the picture. Remember this distinction. So charat plus
Exactly, that's what I thought later.
chara tasmad ach pratyayam krutva chara iti siddhyati, and this is a clear samasa. Saha chara, this is a supsupa samasa, this is a vaikalpika samasa. So saha chara with a break is also acceptable. Saha chara without a break as a samasa is also acceptable. So agre saha chara iti shabdah siddhyati. This is two-step process.
This is a mistake where I made. I initially thought the chara only sahapurvakat only char plus h will come. It is not correct.
Right, you have to have a two-step process. A kridanta is full-fledged.
Two-step
See,
process.
understand. There is one point we need to understand over here. Even in the generation of kridanta, you can have upapada samasa. Like when your kumbhakara is being created, there are two things. There is a kridanta and there is an upapada samasa. But both of them go hand in hand. Standalone kridanta like kara does not exist. So it's not a two-step process where you say kara is the first step and kumbhakara is the second step. That's not allowed. However, over here, there is a separate krudanta called chara, one full step. You can put a horizontal line over there, prakriya ends. And the second prakriya starts over there, which is a samasa prakriya, which is completely independent. Upapada samasa has to be clubbed with krudanta generation. Other samasas like Shashti Tatpurusha samasa, Gangadhara, for example, Dhru plus Acha will give a Dhara and Gangayaha Dhara will give Gangadhara. It's completely two different samasas. Okay?
This is what I understood later.
Correct. Agree.
Thank you. Next. पुरोग्रतोग्रेषु सर्तेः कथं तर्हि योधं तदग्रसर गर्वित कृष्णसारमिति बहुलकादिति हरदत्तः। पुरस् अग्रतस् अग्रे इति एतेषु सुबन्तेषु उपपदेषु श्रुधातोः परः टा प्रत्ययः भवति। पुरः सरति इति पुरः सरः, अग्रतः सरति इति अग्रतः सरः, अग्रम अग्रेण अग्रे वा सरति इति अग्रे सरः। परन्तु रघुवंशे अग्रसर इति शब्दः दृश्यते। तस्य स्तन प्रणयभिर्मुहुरेण सैभैर् व्याहृह्यमान हरिणी गमनं पुरस्तात् आविर्बभूव कुशगर्भमुखं मृगाणां योधं तदग्रसर गर्वित कृष्णसारम् इति। अत्र अग्रसर शब्दस्य सिद्धिः कथं? तर्हि हरदत्तमतेन बाहुलकात् इति सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याम् उच्यते। इत्युक्ते कृत्यल्युटो बहुलम् इत्यस्य योगविभागं कृत्वा बहुलम् इति भिन्नं सूत्रं विरचय्य कृत्प्रत्ययाः बहुलं भवन्ति इति तस्य अर्थं कृत्वा अग्र प्लस् रु इत्यत्रापि अनेन सूत्रेण टा प्रत्ययं कृत्वा अग्रसरः इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति। Here the question is how this टा प्रत्यय will come when we have only agra will get in the agre, but how agre will not become, how agra will come. For this the reply is the bahulukat, but I believe that this bahulukat we cannot use for each and every word. It should be used only for sister prayogas.
It should be used only when Haradatta says, not when Nilesha says. So it's only when scholars say, not other people.
Yes, correct. Thank you. पूर्वे कर्तरि किं पूर्वं देशं सरति इति पूर्वसारः। पूर्वे कर्तरि अस्य सूत्रस्य अर्थः कर्तृवाचिनी पूर्व इति सुबन्ते उपपदे सृ धातोः टा प्रत्ययः भवति इति अस्ति। पूर्व प्लस् सृ प्लस् टा पूर्वसर प्रातिपदिकम्। अत्र पूर्व इति अनेन कर्तुः इत्युक्ते पूर्वसरः इत्यस्यैव निर्देशः क्रियते। अत्र अस्मिन् सूत्रे कर्तरि इति पदं किमर्थं प्रयुक्तं? यदि पूर्वं देशं सरति इति कर्म उपपदम् उच्यते तर्हि टा प्रत्ययः न भवति, अपि तु कर्मणि अनेन सूत्रेण अण् प्रत्ययः भवति। पूर्व प्लस् रु प्लस् अण् इति स्थिते नित्वात् पूर्व प्लस् सारा प्लस् आ पूर्वसारा इति प्रातिपदिकं ततश्च प्रथमैकवचनं कृत्वा पूर्वसारः इति सिद्ध्यति. The person who is going ahead, I think, is Purvasaraha. The person who is going towards Purvadesa is Purvasaraha.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Next.
Next, I think I missed the question over here. I directly wrote answer. Do you remember the question? Is it written? I completely forgot what the question was over here. I think यशस्करी इत्यत्र अतक्रू कमी इति सूत्रं स्पष्टीकृत और विसर्गस्य सकारादेशः कथं भवति, something like that was there. Let's actually go and see. Give me 1 minute. What was this 60th question? सिद्धांत कौमुदी व्याख्यानस्य अस्यम् एतम् अंशं स्पष्टीकृत क्रियो हेतु ताच्छील्यानुलोमेषु अतक्रूकमिति सह यशस्करी विद्या. So this should be in the black. This is essentially the text that you would like to explain. अस्तु वदतु.
सूत्रार्थः कर्मणि उपपदे कृ धातोः टा प्रत्ययो भवति हेतौ ताच्छील्ये अनुलोम्य च गम्यमाने। यथा श्राद्धं करोति इति ताच्छील्यार्थे श्राद्धकरः इति रूपं भवति। अत्र यशः करोति इत्यत्र हेत्वर्थे यशस् अम् इति उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ कृ धातोः टा प्रत्यये कृते प्रक्रियायां सकारस्य विसर्गे प्राप्ते तस्य पुनः सकारादेशार्थम् अतः क्री कमी कंसा कुंभ पात्र कृश कनीश्वनव्यवस्य इति सूत्रं प्रयोक्तव्यमिति अत्र कौमुद्यां स्पष्टीक्रियते। अतः क्रूकमि इत्यस्य अर्थः समासस्य विषये अकारात् परस्य अव्ययभिन्नस्य विसर्गस्य क्रू कमी कंसा कुंभ पात्र कृश कन्नी एतेषु परेषु नित्यं सकारादेशः भवति, किन्तु पूर्वपदं स्वयं कश्चन समासः अस्ति चेत् अयं सकारादेशः न भवति। यशस्करी अत्र प्रक्रिया एतादृशी अस्ति। यशः करोति, यशस् प्लस न्यस् क्रू प्लस ट कृण्यो हेतुच्छील्यानुलोम्येषु अनेन सूत्रेण क्री धातोः टा प्रत्ययः कर्तृकर्मणः कृति इति षष्ठी. Here also I am always making the same mistake. The first I put not only here various places I am putting first and then converting to yes. SS plus crew plus a sutu iti tasya itsangna tasya lopah supo dhatu pratipadikyoh iti supratyasya lopah. यस्य प्लस कर स दुषोरुः इति रुत्वं करवसानयोर् विसर्जनीयः इति विसर्गः. यशस् कर अत्र विसर्गः ह्रस्व अकारात् परः अस्ति. यशः इति पूर्वपदम् अव्ययं नास्ति, समस्तपदमपि नास्ति. अस्मात् शब्दः परः क्रू धातुरस्ति. यशः करः इति समस्तपदमस्ति. विसर्गः उत्तरपदे नास्ति, अतः क्री कमी कंसा इति विसर्गस्य स्थाने सकारादेशः. इत्यत्र विसर्गः उत्तरपदे नास्ति इत्यस्य भावः कः महोदय?
अत्र सूत्रे एव एते सर्वे विषयाः उच्यन्ते. So if you look at, I have not taught this sutra, but if you look at this particular sutra, atakru kami kamsa kumbha pasha, it has multiple conditions being listed over there. So visarga hraswakarat paraha bhavet, yasha iti purvapadam avyayam mastu, asmat anantaram kru dhatu bhavet, shakara iti samastapadam bhavet, uttarpade visarga na bhavet. All these conditions are being added in that particular sutra.
No, visargah उत्तरपदे न भवेत् इत्येतत् अर्थः कः? कदा विसर्गः उत्तरपदे कथं भवति?
Let's see this. So let's actually see this particular sutra 1846 to understand if that condition is there, or I myself got confused. अकारात् परस्य अव्यय भिन्नस्य विसर्गस्य क्रू कमी कंस कुंभ पात्र कुशाकर्णी एतेषु परेषु नित्यं सकारादेशः भवति, परन्तु पूर्वपदं कश्चन समासः अस्ति चेत् अयं सकारादेशः निषिध्यते. So I think पूर्वपद, if पूर्वपद ends in a visarga, if uttarapada is form of a crew or any of these words, पूर्वपद not avyay and पूर्वपद not a samasa, you're correct. There is no need to have an additional constraint called visarga. I don't think why did I add it over here, or why did I add it, or it was there in the original. I think I must have added a mistake.
I do not remember, but maybe I saw somewhere that thing.
Yeah,
that condition.
no worries. No worries. But good you pointed out. So there are multiple conditions. This particular sutram has multiple conditions listed one after the other. So purvapada must end in a visarga that follows an akara. So it should be aha or something like that.
Yes, that is
Uttarapada should be either a form of a crew verb or it form of a kami verb, or it should be one of these verbs. The purvapada should not be an avyaya. Yashas is not an avyaya. Purvapada is not a samasa. So it's a single standalone word, it's not a samasa. And then visarga will be converted to sakara. So all these conditions have to be satisfied, and then it will be converted to sakara.
It is satisfied here, everything.
It's everything is obviously correct. And then you have to talk about yashaskari vidya. So you have to add a neep on the top of it.
Then you have to add a neep, and then yashaskari will come. Yashaskara plus neep, tiddhati sutrena yashaskari will come.
Last.
Next. Diva vibha निशा प्रभाः बहुशब्दस्य वैपुल्यार्थं संख्यापेक्षया पृथक् ग्रहणम्. दिवा विभा निशा प्रभा भास्कार अन्त अनंत आदि बहु नांदी किम लिपि लिबि बलि भक्ति कर्तृ चित्र क्षेत्र संख्या जंघ बाहु अहस् यत् तत् धनुषु अरुषु. अस्य सूत्रस्य अर्थः दिवादिषु उपपदेषु क्रियधातोः टा प्रत्ययो भवति. अत्र बहु इति शब्दः उपयुज्यते. अत्र कश्चन प्रश्नः उद्भवति. बहु शब्दः संख्यावाचकः अस्ति एव, तर्हि संख्या इति उच्यमाने पुनः बहु इति किमर्थम् उक्तमिति तस्य उत्तरं कौमुदीकारेण दीयते. बहु शब्दस्य संख्या इति कश्चन एकः अर्थः अस्ति, विपुलम् इति कश्चन अन्यः अर्थः अस्ति. एतयोः द्वयोः अर्थयोः अपि अस्मिन् सूत्रे ग्रहणम् इष्यते. वैपुल्यवाचिनः बहुशब्दस्य न संख्या शब्दत्वम् इति बहुगुणवती संख्या अनेन सूत्रेण उक्तम्। अतः वैपुल्यम् अस्मिन् अर्थे विद्यमानः बहुशब्दः संख्या इति अनेन न निर्दिश्यते, तस्यापि ग्रहणम् अस्मिन् सूत्रे स्यात् इति हेतुना बहुशब्दः अत्र स्थापितः अस्ति. I think this entire reply was rewritten by Nilesh ji. I was not very clear. Now I clearly understood that the Sankhya Sabda does not include Vipula Bhava. So to include Vipula also, we have to use the sutra like this. The Bahusabda is required. So it gives the both the things. One is Sankhya meaning, one is Vipula meaning. So Vipulyarthe, Sankhyaarthe bhi the Bahusabda will be used.
Very nice. So you had two meanings and only one was captured. You want to capture another, so you had a
Other one
both.
also. Yes.
Correct. Uttamam. Dhanyavada. So that's all you were going to explain, like,
Yes.
right?
Thank
We
you.
have Chandrasekharan ji for the next. So we have only little time, but I'm going to still unmute you and request you to quickly run through only 5 of them. So you should be able to, maybe maximum 5 minutes and we should be done. Namaste.
Namaste.
You can
Tarhi-
skip up the Halantyam and other steps and just explain the.
प्रश्नः अस्ति कृद्वृत्तिं लिखित्वा विलिख्य रूपसिद्धिं प्रदर्शयत इति। तर्हि प्रथमम् अस्ति यत्करा, यत् करोति सा यत्करा इति। तत्र इदानीमेव महोदयेन उक्तं दिवा विभा निशा प्रभा इत्यनेन तत् ट प्रत्ययः विधीयते। तदनन्तरम् अत्र so here I just wanted to point out yat plus kr plus a तत्र yat इति द्वितीयायाम् अस्ति। तदनन्तरं ङस् कृतिकर्मणो कर्तृकर्मणो कृति इति षष्ठी भवति। तदनन्तरं सुपोधातु प्रातिपदिकयोः इत्यनेन सुप् प्रत्ययस्य लोपः यत् कर इति भवति।
So here also observe that this is also okay to have like samasasya alaukika vigraha and then separate this out. So you do samasasya alaukika vigraha and separate it out, or if asked an alaukika vigraha of krudanta, which is the full thing, still you separate it out. Either way works. So in the previous exercise we saw a different way of splitting. Here we explicitly write samasasya alaukika vigraha. Both is correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
My point was the previous step. It is yad isn't Dvitiya. That's all. But here,
exactly. Very good. So here is a Dvitiya over here, and this is at this particular point in time where the samasa is happening. So you should actually add an upapadamating over here to have an upapada samasa. That I think upapadamating was not written over here. So you can actually technically say over here upapadamating. Upapadamating iti upapada samasa is also okay. So here you can now clearly see upapada samasa is much earlier. Now you have the alaukika vigraha of that samasa, and then as soon as alaukika vigraha is done, the shashti vibhakti pratyay is shown explicitly over here, and then it evaporates by supodhatu pratipadikayo. Either way is okay. Agree.
Okay. And yatkara, after that, the ajadya stop comes, and because it is counted in ajadi that the a comes. Yadyapi the stop it's ta pratyah tiddhane iti अस्ति तथापि अत्र कियत् बहुषु कृञो विधानम् इत्यनेन वार्तिकेन आकारः एव आगच्छति। तर्हि यत्करा इति स्त्री प्रातिपदिकम्।
There's one question, very important question. I want to take it right now. The question is like this. If you want to answer, most welcome. Kartrukarmano kruti iti shashti kimartham kartavya. Any way that ngas is going away by supodhatu pratipadikayoho, what big deal does it make if I split it at yada plus ama and get rid of ama? Why are you forcing me to make yada plus nasa and get rid of nasa? Very, very apt question. Like, why do you do kartrukarmano kruti if all that I'm going to do next in the next step is get rid of nasa? May I as well get rid of ama is the question. Do you want to take an attempt at it, or I can explain?
No, I don't know the answer.
Okay. The answer is the very, very good question actually, and the answer is that kartukarmano krutihi is not being used for the primary purpose of kartukarmano kruti is not here. The primary purpose of kartukarmano kruti is nothing related to krudanta prakriya. All that it says is that the karta or the karma goes in the shashti when a krudanta word is present in in front over there. So for example, mama lekhanam iti vaktum shakti. So you say mama lekhanam, there is a shashti, or radnya matam is a classic example given in, I think, the commentaries. So mama or radnya, these are the shashti pratyanta words which are caused because of kartru karmano kruti. So aham likhami, there is a prathama over there, it's a karta, and that karta goes in the shashti, or maya likhyate and mama lekhanam. So that maya, which is the karta, goes into shashti by mama lekhanam. So that is the primary reason why kartru karmano kruti is there, so that a sentence can be converted into another sentence with a tritiya or a dvitiya, whatever is the case, getting converted to shashti. So karta and a karma getting converted into shashti. As a side effect of that particular process, the sutra gets applied over here. So kartru karmano kruti was never designed so that an artificial ngas pratyay will be added over here. Kartru karmano kruti was designed so that constructs like say mama lekhanam or radnyam mataha could be justified in the language. As a side effect, we just parjanyavat sutra pravrutti, we bring it over here. Maybe I'll explain it at some other point in time, but we are running out of time, so let's go ahead.
शब्दकारः शब्दं करोति इति शब्दकारः तर्हि तत्रापि आण् प्रत्ययः भवति न शब्दश्लोककलः इति सूत्रेण टं प्रपाद्य आण् इति तत्र निषिद्धसूत्रमस्ति तदर्थं टं निषिध्यति तदनन्तरं वी हैव टू गो बैक टू द उपसर्ग व्हिच इज आण् सो आण् प्रत्ययः भवति तदनन्तरं अचोणिति इत्यनेन वृद्धिः शब्दकारः इति रूपम् भास्करः बाह करोति इति भास्करः तत्र भास् अत्र ट प्रत्ययः विधीयते दिवा विभा निशा इत्यनेन तत्र भास्करा इति अस्ति भास्करा इति अस्ति तदर्थं तत्र ट प्रत्ययः विधीयते तदनन्तरं सकारस्य निपातनात् विसर्जनीय जिह्वामूलीयो न भवतः इति अस्ति तत्र सूत्रे एव अहं न जानामि वार्तिकं वा इति सकारस्य निपातनात् अस्ति सा भास्करः इति तत्र सकारस्य जिह्वामूल्यः न भवति तर्हि भास्करः
It's just written as bhas, so we can just say it's a nipatana without any worry.
Yeah. तदनन्तरम् अग्रे पुरस्सरः पुरः सरति इति पुरस्सरः तर्हि अत्र ट प्रत्ययः विधीयते ग्रतोग्रेषु सर्तेः इत्यनेन तर्हि तत्र अग्रे ट प्रत्ययः अतः सार्वधातुकार्धधातुक इत्यनेन सर् इति भवति पुरस्सरः तदनन्तरं तत्र वाशरी इत्यनेन पुरः सरः अथवा पुरस्सर इति रूपद्वयमपि सिद्ध्यते पुरस्सरः इति रूपम् भिक्षाचरः भिक्षां चरति इति भिक्षाचरः तत्र ट प्रत्ययः भिक्षासेना आदायेषु भिक्षासेनादायेषु इत्यनेन ट प्रत्ययः तर्हि ट इत्यनेन चर् इति रूपमेव भिक्षाचरः तत्र किमपि अन्य नूतनं कार्यं नास्ति भिक्षाचरः
Uttamam, there is one question that you can take actually. I don't here kim yattad bahushu kruyoho ajvidhanam iti sutramasti. Now I completely forgot this vartikam. So should we have an ach pratyaya over here, or should we have a ta pratyaya over here?
Yeah, when you taught in class, you said you can also go to the ach pratyaya route, or we can say ajadya shashtap route also. So both ways you will get the same.
So ajadya tashtap is what you should apply, or you can have an ach pratyaya over here. Astu samapayama. You have any questions, Mode, here?
No.
Astu dhanyavada. Samapayama. So we probably took a little more time, but that should be okay. Shwaha punarekvaram asmineva samaye milamaha. Similarly, maybe 2 or 3 more exercise tomorrow we should be able to complete. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः धन्यवाद।